Good afternoon, everyone. We're in Bali, a beautiful little paradise full of trees and greenery. And I'm going to show you some of the shots of how I walked here. It's a jungle, but not necessarily the hardest to get to. And what I wanted to talk about today is some of the times we've been living through lately, recently especially, something to do with all the stuff that's happening in the world, all the wars, all the conspiracies, all the BS. And last week especially has been tough for some people. It's been energetically. I don't know if you believe in energies or sort of universe or the planets, astrology, any of that stuff. In the sense that energies do affect people. A lot of sensitive people do get affected by that, and the times have not been the easiest. And so one of the things I want to encourage in this video is for all of us to spend more time effectively revitalizing themselves. Yeah, this is why I chose this place. It's a beautiful rice terrace, and the funny thing about it is it's huge, it's beautiful, it's stunning. It's quite an inspiration, in fact, looking at it. Kind of supercharges one with something. And yet somehow we found ways to bring alcohol and shisha into it. You know, I'm going to show you some of the view of the terraces, and probably what I'm not going to show you is the stuff I don't really even want to tape. Is not the biggest sin in the world, but something that kind of confuses me. We come to Bali, we come to this beautiful green jungle. It's lush, it's full of oxygen, it's good vibes, as they say. It's quite energizing, and yet somehow we manage to start doing same old stuff, same old bullshit, same old BS. Drinking booze, smoking shisha, smoking cigarettes, lounging in the pool. We got this stunning rice terrace here, and we just somehow ended up building the same infrastructure that we're used to back in the city. The thing is, we're not in a concrete jungle anymore. We're in a we're in a real jungle. So the tools we have used to cope back there, back on the mainland, we don't need anymore. And this is really a discovery for everyone. It's time to give up some of the old coping ways. It is hard for most of you to socialize in a city without drinking, without partying, without doing drugs. You know, one of the biggest excuses my clients give me for drinking, for not wanting to give up drinking is, oh, all my friends drink. What am I going to do? I'm going to lose my social circle. So you end up doing something that's not just damaging to your body, but to your ambition. Alcohol fucks up your ambition. And you can say a lot of successful people drink. Well, they probably drink sometimes, but not the way you do. And quite often they don't drink when they're carving out the pathway for themselves. You know, those couple years that you need to be really focused. They don't do that. And certainly a lot of people in Bali don't drink. Yes, they do. Some do. Yes, there's a city. Yes, there's a bit of a concrete jungle as well in the capital. But the access to this lush, beautiful greenery is literally, like, for most of us, 15 minutes drive. And you're in some sort of beautiful natural place. Whether that's a beach, a waterfall, a rice terrace like this, or just a simple rice field. Not everything is this green. Some bits have more mud in it, but it's still enough for you to get energized and inspired. Just like how I'm energizing myself right now by being here, by looking at this. This deeply, deeply instilling place. I want us to consider things we don't do for ourselves that hinder us in the long time, in the long run. I myself have been very emotionally volatile since I'm here. It's a beautiful, relaxing place. Yet, if you choose to stay here, if you choose to settle here, at least for some time, it will start testing you. And it starts happening in the ways of energies, in the ways of emotions. Things come up that we quite often need to work through, or just be with some uncomfortable emotions. And some old coping mechanisms do come back. Drinking, partying, drugs, promiscuity, video games, overeating, just being lethargic, laying in bed all the time. All of this stuff comes up. There is a draw, there is a desire to do that. And so one has to be quite proactive to stay away from all that stuff, to stay away from all of this negative, draining, energy draining stuff. That activity that doesn't serve us in the long run. And one really has to get that you have to establish a pattern of behavior that you will always do no matter what, a protocol for your health, for your well-being, for your focus, for your energy, that's always there. And two things that are always there to help me, that always got me, is I guess two, but one can be extended, is time in nature, right? And sometimes time in nature is not always available. Sometimes all we have, especially for in London, New York, Moscow, we only have some park greenery. It's not the same, but time away from your phone, doing something that forces you to be away from your phone. That could be exercise, that could be meeting your friends, having tea, that could be walking around in the jungle, walking around in nature. If you're in a beautiful architecture city, you can walk around and look at beautiful architecture. Just stay away from your phone, stay away from your phone screen. It drains your energy, drains your prana, depletes you of focus, and also ruins our focus quite a lot. And fasting, staying away from food. Not necessarily, can't even call it fasting, just really monitoring the food, staying away from unhealthy foods, being quite careful with unhealthy foods, paying attention to the foods, paying attention to what we eat, and not eating for at least half a day until the sun goes down. It's a very good tradition that Islam has brought to the world. It's been done ages before. It's not that Islam invented it in any way, but they have organized it. Muslims have organized themselves in a very proactive way to fast, sunrise to sundown. That's great. For most people, you can just do that once a week, or maybe even daily, intermittent fasting. But just to keep that focus fresh, because the food brings that lethargy in, and there's desire to procrastinate even more. And it's hard when you're running your own business, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a coach, when you're a musician like myself. A lot of the things you do really depend on you being in a good state, you being energized, you being in a flow. And that has to be achieved most of the day. When you force something like that, when you force art, it doesn't always come out well. Sometimes it does, but not always. In this case, what I found, creating from that pure state of flow, that beauty, is what really brings in that energy. I've been in Bali for a few months now, since August, 6-7 months, and really gotta say it is a magical place, and it offers everything you want. In an unfortunate way as well, because it offers you a party. It offers you parties just like Ibiza, not the same scale, but you will find your crowd. You will find a lot of variety of crowds. There's upper class, there's working class, there's drinking, just drinking, there's drinking and drugs, there's drinking and everything else. There's beautiful women, all ages. There's all sorts of music, drum and bass, commercial, obviously, house, techno. They got all of it. So it kind of offers a little bit of everything. It might not be in the same scale as we have it on the mainland, but it's all within 1 hour's drive south of Bali. You kind of got that everything bit there. The rest of the island is undiscovered by most foreigners. Most of us are just in the south. South central to south, pretty much. Jungle to ocean to peninsula. just enjoying the bits of sunshine. But we're missing what Ireland has truly to offer. We're missing the magic in it. And curious how that happens. We get pulled in the way foreigners already live, and we get lost, undiscovered. It's so sad to see a lot of people come here and just drink away their holiday, thinking that that's what the place is about. Like it's okay to do that, and yet you want to combine it with something profound that you've never done before, something deep, some sort of spiritual retreat, you know, but not really even organized by Westerners, because it's always something, always ends up being too watered down and commercial. But maybe this is the way for some people to come back to it. Yet, if you're watching this video, my invitation to you is always go a little bit deeper. At least a little bit deeper, or a lot deeper, if you really want to find the true power of this island, the true power of Bali. The main reason people come here is not to drink and party. It can facilitate that for you. It can facilitate hookah, shisha, alcohol. It can facilitate all of that. But what it truly has to offer is yet undiscovered by most. So my invitation to you, next time you're in Bali, go a little deeper.